Welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh alongside Gene Collier for tonight's show. Give us a call, 412-575-2600. If you happen to need a roof, make sure you give Ireland Contracting a call. They're easy
Everybody
number to
needs
remember.
a roof.
Yes, everyone does. And they're the best in the business. 1-800-NEW-ROOF. They not only do roofing, Gene.
Oh.
They do siding, gutters, windows.
Right.
Anything you need, probably painting, anything you need, give them a call, because I would. All right, give us a call right now on the Boards and Boards hotline, 412-575-2600. Other big news today going on, the owners' meetings, and I guess they had an extensive meeting, all the coaches and GMs talking about replay today. I'd imagine something's going to change. It seems like the coaches are in favor of expanding replay. That's what we need, right? More replay. Let's just replay everything.
We need death to replay, but we're going in the opposite direction, and it'll go that way for the foreseeable future. Coaches can't stand it when a play goes against them that shouldn't have, and that's how replay was born, and that's how it's going to continue to proliferate throughout the games. It's slowing down the games. It's taking away, the essence of the game. It's taking away the human element. These guys won't be satisfied until robots are actually playing the games.
So I know, I mean, I'm with you on, I like some replay. I just wish it was just.
Well, then you're not with me, Richard.
No, I know.
No replay.
Okay, no replay. I want just like a total challenge system. Maybe you get 2 challenges in the first half, 2 challenges, and you can challenge anything you want. Whatever you want to challenge, you can challenge. But that's all you get.
4?
4.
How about 1?
2.
3.
Okay, 3. We'll go with 3. But that's the way I would like it.
No.
I mean, you can look at everything. They can look at everything under 2 minutes, and that's what they do. If it's a catch, if it isn't a catch, if it's a touchdown.
Looking at everything all the time. Are we going to isolate every position? Because there's a penalty on every play.
You're right, and it costs the Steelers. I could see where Tomlin potentially is pushing it because of what happened in the Steelers against the Chargers, the Saints.
The Saints are pushing it.
And the Saints are pushing it, what happened to them in the NFC Championship game. But I actually think it's ruining the game like you. I agree with you. I think there should be some I wish we could find a middle ground.
You used to go to a football game, and a touchdown was scored. Everyone would stand up and cheer. Now everybody just waits.
To see if it was good.
See if that actually happened. You see if what you actually saw actually happened. That's really taking away from the entertainment aspect of the game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think where we're going to see computerized officiating, I think the first step would be in baseball with balls and strikes.
Yep, that's.
I think that would be the first one.
Baseball is actually going to experiment with that this year in the low minors.
So that's what I think eventually is going to happen, but it's a shame. All right, let's get out to the phone calls, and we're going to go out to, speaking of, let's go out to Dave out in the south side. What's up, Dave? Dave, you there?
Yeah, how you doing today?
Good, thanks for calling.
All right, I just wanted to ask you and a question. Why is it that the Steelers, for the last few years, knew and they know that we need a middle linebacker and our second and third level of the defense is terrible? Instead of them always saying we're going to get the best man available, if you get another right tackle, but I mean it's not helping the defense. What have we done?
Yeah, well, look, Dave, I don't think that they're going after a right tackle in the first round, Gene. I mean, I think that would be. I know some mock drafts have them drafting an offensive lineman. They might go best athlete. Kevin Colbert did not rule that out when I talked to him at the combine, going best available athlete, but he also didn't rule out, he said, position of need, that they might have to go corner or inside linebacker. So, just because one mock draft has them going offensive lineman, I think they're going to go defense first round, whether it's a cornerback or it's or linebacker.
I agree. There are, you can find a mock draft for almost anything now, but the free agents they were able to acquire, and they've been much more active in free agency than they normally are. They did sign those players because they needed an inside linebacker with Barron and a cornerback with Nelson. But I don't think it really changes their draft posture very much. I think they'll go into it with basically the same approach. What it does is, if there is an athlete available that they can't believe he's still available, They might. This gives them a little bit of latitude to maybe gamble on. I don't think you'll see any big surprises from the Steelers in the draft.
You know, maybe if one of those receivers was there, like that Metcalf or someone like that would fall to the Steelers, you might see them go wide receiver early on. Speaking of wide receivers, Bob Pompeani is at the owners' meetings with Jerry Dulac.
Yeah.
And, you know, they all had a chance to talk to Mike Tomlin, first interview since January. And, you know, he was we ran that interview at 6. We're going to run it again tonight at 11 on KDKA News. Bob with Mike Tomlin. And Mike Tomlin was very candid with Pompeani today about Antonio Brown, about Le'Veon Bell, about, you know, Ben Roethlisberger's leadership. And, you know, he said some things that you normally don't hear Mike Tomlin say, but you can definitely tell, Gene, he's ready to move on from 26 and 84.
I'll bet he
yeah.
is. I'll bet he is. No, it was interesting to hear him say that, you know, he thinks he's someone who treats everyone fairly. He doesn't view himself necessarily as someone who treats everybody the same. And I think that's just a matter of practicality in the NFL. And it's been this way for a long time, regardless of what fans seem to think. You know, there's a famous story about Sparky Anderson managing the Big Red Machine. Somebody asked him one time, does he have different rules for Johnny Bench and Pete Rose and Joe Morgan and Tony Perez? And he said, yes, I do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's just that's just human nature, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. You took the words out of my mouth. Human nature. I mean, everyone has different rules. Right. You know. All right, back out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to switching topics a little bit here. We'll go out to Denny out in Shaler. What's up, Denny? How you doing?
Hi, Rich. Hi, Gene. Hey, I just have a thought. Hockey officiating gets on my nerves. You can slash a stick and break it, or not even break it, get a penalty automatically. But you get somebody in the head, and there's no penalty, and it's acceptable, no well, even though the man might have some brain damage later on. Is this ever going to change?
You know, I think officiating in all sports are frustrating, as we were just talking a little bit about. Yeah, I mean, hockey's just so fast, Gene. I mean, it's hard. These guys miss a lot. And if you start adding more replay in that, then you're taking away, you know, what people want to go to watch.
You know, you have to remember that replays are a relatively recent phenomenon. In the NFL, I mean, a replay itself has been around since 1963. The technology available to show you a play again, that's only since 1963. A lot of football was played before that. A lot of football was played before whatever year it was in the 90s, where you could use replay to address some kind of grievance. Most all of sports history happened without replay. And no matter what technology comes into play, and Art Rooney II made an excellent point on this just a week ago. He said, even with all the technology, at the end of it, a human is watching the film. And you know, they're going to make mistakes too. So that's why, to me, the solution is don't have it.
And how many times do we sit there in the Steelers press box and just scratch our heads like, well, how did this guy overturn this? Right. Or, you know, because El Riveron, he makes he determines it.
Yeah, because he's a human.
Yeah.
Why? So, how could the linebacker Ford for the Kansas City Chiefs line up offside on the play that takes them out of the Super Bowl? How did that happen? Because he's a human.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I want less replay, but I think we're definitely headed in the direction of more replay. It's just, what are they going to add? What are we going to be replaying? I would imagine penalties is going to be one of them this year. Mm-hmm. All right, back out to the phone lines. Let's go out to Marilyn out in Munhall. What's up, Marilyn? How you doing?
Hi, Rich. Hi, Gene.
Hey, Marilyn.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
I was wondering, how many games do you think the Pirates will have to win this year to make it to the playoffs?
That's a good question, Gene. I'll let you tackle that one first.
Well, usually, Maryland, if you get 90, that's usually enough. 95 sometimes will win you the division. And that really doesn't change, you know, very much from year to year. The Pirates are in a good division. There are 4 teams in that division that are capable of winning. If you count the Pirates, it's a bit of a stretch, but it's a strong division. It's the only division, I believe, that had 4 teams in it that had winning records last year.
You know, I think the Pirates are better than last year. They haven't done much, but I think they're better. Younger talent. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid because I was there for spring training. I have them winning 85 games. I don't think that's enough to get to a wild card, but I think that they'll be relatively competitive, especially if they hit on their pitching.
Yeah, I mean, pitching determines so much, and they have 4 really good starting pitching. That should bode well for them, but that's why we watch it. We don't know. Yeah,
and there's still some starting pitching out there. That's what I don't understand. There were some players that the Pirates maybe could have went out and got, and they didn't. That's what bothers me, and that's a conversation we always have on the show. That they don't do enough, and so they're headed into the season with around a $70 million payroll, and if you can get 85 wins from that, that's pretty good. But it's still not going to. It's not going to win you a division.
Cubs will start the season with a payroll of 211.
Yeah, it's not fair. Something has to change in the game. And I don't think we're going to see them vote for a salary cap or a salary floor, but you at least need a salary floor for people to be competitive if you want to keep. That's kind of acts as a salary cap, essentially. So, all right, we're going to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls. Jeff, Dave, Jim, you're on the line. Coming back in 2 minutes.